Welcome back to Gollum. So, see, I said it this time.
Wait, hold on. Find the breach through the haze. So I guess those enemies were the haze? Or...
No. They mean that, like, as in, like, there's a barrier of haze ahead, and we're supposed to open it.
Essentially, Java, it's multi-layered.
Well, can't we just have Mel do what she did last time? And
no, she only can do that with water.
All right, and conveniently there was water in that area.
Yes, we are here, the border of our realm.
So yeah, I'm just gonna call that whole last gameplay sequence completely pointless.
All right, so now we're going. So this is the main reason why Mel wanted to come here, so that she could check, like, because we're going to talk about the incident that made her blind. Also, Gollum was walking in place for like a half a second there.
There were 8 of us. Gwendol was our teacher and mentor. This is where I last saw them. Saw anything, for that matter.
Ooh, deep.
All right, now let's talk to Mel. Oh, trust me, there's popping all over the fucking game.
He was gone. The others, dead or worse. And I was blind.
Mutated.
Let me think. Gwendol stood here. I was back at the river. The others stood at the 6 runestones. Each runestone guards one part of the spell. Air, water, circle, binding, mirror, deceit.
Oh, we're gonna have to collect all these, aren't we?
Yes.
If I could only remember who stood at which stone.
Why does it bring us here if it can't remember most important things?
That's a good question.
I'm starting to see with Pedro, the Gollum is becoming an audience surrogate.
Good lord.
And that's not... Yeah, isn't that a bad thing, Gollum being the audience surrogate?
More like the fact that it's not intentional. The game that we mentioned sporadically in previous parts, the Deathonian trilogy, do possess a sense of humor similar to the one of Monkey Island, and as such, sometimes they do this kind of thing where the protagonist, winks at the audience and potentially lampshades an event that is happening.
It'd be like if the Psycho movies had Norman Bates as the audience surrogate.
Yeah.
Use Gollum's intuition and heightened senses.
Is in the detective mode.
Good lord, that bloom.
It's like I'm playing one of the altered level in Crash 4.
Tell me what you see.
Yeah, like, this filter does not look good. So, essentially, it's a big fetch quest.
Basic. Well, John, we've been doing that throughout the entire game. Did you really expect things to change?
For some reason, it's most apparent here.
So this is Aristor's stuff. Okay, so here's how the puzzle works. You have to use the detective mode. Yes, I know it's not called that, but that's what I know of. It's basically the Arkham. It's the Arkham detective mode. Yeah.
I mean, look, that's pretty much what we call it in even good games, honestly, because, look, you know what it is, detective mode. Even in The Amazing Spider-Man, it's detective mode, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah. Okay, so basically... Now, the basic gist of it is this. You find an object belonging to one of the elves that got killed, and you can somehow follow a trail to the stone, so you can tell where they were started. There you go. There were 3 men, 3 maidens. Aristor, Sal, Callan.
If I could remember how it all happened, then maybe I'd remember the...
There you go. See, that way Mel will be able to remember the order of the spell and open up the ace for us.
You know what this means, right? Gollum is actually doing some detective work, because he has to reconstruct how the scene went.
Somehow, when I think Gollum / Smeagol, I don't think detective.
Agent Smeagol, FBI.
You know what? That idea is so crazy that I actually would not mind a spin-off game of Detective Gollum.
I warned Gwendol.
Lord knows it'd probably be more interesting than most of this game. And you know what? Gollum using his wits and whatnot to figure something out? Okay, sure, fine. Again, I'll give it credit. This is still more interesting than pretty much anything from the volcano prison.
So basically, based on what she's saying, it seems all of these elves were complete fucking idiots and fucked themselves up.
Yep.
That was much an idiot as almost every character in this game is.
Again, for the record, the usage of magic in Tolkien books is a bit all over the place. It's not like nobody can use it outside the Istari and the older elves, but it's more of a case where, you know, it's very rare, if not almost unique.
Now we're playing the riddle game that we didn't play last time. If you do all of the riddles, you get a trophy.
Some
You know what?
witty banter between the two.
Hey, you know what? I dig it. I could see, you know, Smeagol wanting to continue riddles with someone he considers a friend, which makes me wonder. Assuming he had not wanted to eat Baggins, maybe he would have considered Baggins a friend, given how the two were with their riddles. Again, shame was he wanted to eat
That's not a
Baggins.
question, Smeagol.
Let us think.
And again, on a meta perspective, I can understand wanting to implement something like the riddles in the game. You know, it's part of a character or anything.
Also, the bit on the left was misaligned. Like part of it is off screen. Like seriously,
I was wondering if I was looking at it wrong or something.
Fun fact: there's the credit when the credits list the game's official website. The W on the www is all the first W is also slightly off. You know. Like you can see it because part of it is slightly off screen. Again, would it really be difficult for you guys to at least align this shit properly?
There is an official term for this. I forgot what it's supposed to be. What it's supposed to be called. Essentially, there is curling. I think it's called the idea of spacing between the letters. So either the program that they use fucked up, or it genuinely was the coding. But that kind of reminds me, Pedro.
Yes.
Do you want to save for the final thoughts to talk about the apology letter, or do you want to tell it at some point?
The apology letter, right?
Letter.
Well, I guess if you want to bring it up, you can bring it up now because we're gonna be here a while. So.
Okay. Again, keep in mind that I understand, you know, a couple of things. Of this game, you know, and where the devs came from and everything. That being said, a lot of people were rightfully so not particularly pleased, you know, when the game came out, for reasons that we elucidated. For instance, as Pedro said, having to spend $70 for something of this malarkey quality, you know. As such, after a while, the devs did release the, you know, an apology letter, with the idea that, you know, being in good faith and everything, people would hope to see, you know, patches that will fix at least most of the bugs and making the game at least the experience a bit more, you know, easy to play. Thing is that the apology letter was written in the most PR, you know, generic milquetoast response you can imagine. So already people were not particularly.
A lot of people like to joke on Twitter that it was AI. It was written by an AI.
Pedro, it actually was.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Confirmed that
really?
was the case.
I don't think it was ChatGPT, but they did actually use an AI to construct. And I'm like, it's not even a case of, you know, being insecure. It's just being lazy at that point.
Like I'm sorry, but when a developer does that, it's really hard for me to feel sorry for them. It really is.
Yeah.
Wasn't there also somewhere that AI was used to try and help develop this game? Which Let me make
that
one
I
thing.
do not know.
Let me put it this way: if you didn't know what to say, then don't just say anything. That would be better than that.
Now, in regards to the allegations that there was AI used to develop this game, let me make one thing clear.
No, the game couldn't decide if I could climb that bit or not. Go on.
Oh, God. Let me make one thing clear. AI, like many things, is a tool. I could see someone maybe using it to assist them in the process and all that. That being said, using AI for the apology letter, and if they used AI for like the majority of developing, when AI is, let's be honest, nowhere near the point of replicating good quality all on its own, at least not without a lot of prompts put in there. Yeah, no, don't. But using AI to write your apology, that's That is a special
Which-
level.
it's like this
of,
game
if
was-
not contempt,
Yeah.
outright just lack of reading the room.
Plot twist: this game was made by the Patriots. It's just.
Yeah, that's how they view video. Yeah, that's how they view video games. Just this.
No. Well, remember this. When the primary commentary of MGS4 is the use of AI. So yeah.
I have to wonder, what exactly was the Patriots' wise idea of making this game of all things? Like,
Simple, Jova.
think the-
Simple, Jova. They want to keep Lord of the Rings fans under their toe, I guess, under their thumb, I guess.
Well,
It's
then
more
shouldn't
of a
the
case
idea
of-
be to make a good game then?
Well, I guess, Jova, instead to test the waters to see how much tolerance do people seem to have. If they did not respond, that would mean they could get away with it.
And Daedalic had to be the fall guy for the Patriots scheme, I guess. But yeah, no, I mean...
Even my
seriously,
patience
though.
has its limits. I just can't let you handle this anymore. I'll do the game design. You can just go home.
But no, seriously though, why would you use AI to write your apology? And not only that, the fact that they did it in a way that they were able to get tracked down and called out for such. Is it that hard to just write a legit, I'm sorry,
Would it kill you?
messed up?
Would it kill you to take 5 minutes of your goddamn time to write that thing?
That joke that South Park uses, we're sorry. That actually has more effort put
Yeah,
into
when
that.
yeah, exactly, and that's meant to be a joke at terrible a jab at terrible apologies, and that's just how.
You see,
Okay,
well,
let me put a-
but that's the thing, Pedro. Remember, the truth is stranger than fiction.
My god,
Yeah.
like even fake or backhanded apologies have more effort put into them than a literal AI apology. Like, and I just ask, why? Were you trying to burn away goodwill?
The closest I can think of is that Daedalic being a German company, they might be not used to potentially wanting to write something on the fly in English, but they probably do have at least a percentage of personnel that speaks fluent English perfectly.
Hell, the site DeepL probably could have translated your apology better. Okay, look, now, if they were using the AI to translate, that's one thing, but nope, apparently they use that AI to make the apology, period. It's like, I swear, it may not be to the level of infamy as something as, say, Superman 64, but I would say it is somewhat comparable to how much the stars aligned for how bad Sonic 06 was in both marketing and everything surrounding it. And gosh, even Sonic 06, even with Sonic 06, we arguably got a better apology with Unleashed, which is, yeah, a whole ass game, but still, like, I swear, almost everything about this game.
Turns out there's one of the things you have to find is actually under the water. Not that this is something that I had to check in Wishing to Cause playthrough because I didn't even think of that because See, the thing is about finding the objects is that you'd think that the puzzle would work like this, right? Where you find one object, then it creates a whole trail of whatever it is, and you lead to the next thing, and you find out where each elf stood. Simple, right? No, that's the thing. Sometimes you find objects, and those objects don't do anything. They only serve to inform Gollum of something about the elf, so that later you can trigger a specific dialogue that does indeed allow you to figure out where the elf stood. The puzzle, the way the puzzle is done, is confusing. And yes, like I'm sure Theo is probably already thinking, we're still here. This is still going. So Dondofer. Gollum. There's a fork in the. Well, actually, no. I will have to say something more Middle Earthy. Keep going, Joe. I'll think of a variation.
Question: is the game restrictive with the order you have to find these things, or can you find them in any order?
No, you can find them in any order.
Okay.
The catch is that you can potentially find things scattered around, in a chaotic kind of way, and you might not be able.
Okay, so it should be Dondofer here.
Yeah, where those one thing stands.
Yes.
Let's see where
Gollum, there's a knife under the water. Sauron is sorting some darkness among this system. Take a good look at the magic. I don't know. I'm trying to come up with a Middle Earth a Middle Earth equivalent of that quote, but it's hard.
It's the bomb that counts.
What would be the Middle Earth equivalent to a Metal Gear, I wonder?
Is there like a Middle Earth character? Is there like a Middle Earth character who's known for being super stealthy?
No, they're not that big dweebs. Probably the Oliphant.
You know,
even
the weird thing
they're described to be as tall as a building. So yeah, it checks out.
All right, here's something else. Okay. No, never mind. I think I already examined that. All right, let's keep going because there's actually more. This is a big area, as you can see, because you have to find quite a bit of stuff to get all of the 6 elves.
I guess you could try to follow the quest marker, unless
the quest marker is just pointing to Mel. It's just pointing to Mel.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Seriously, this is one of the most useless quest markers I've ever seen in a game.
Well, okay, I understand why they're not having the quest marker point to the stuff, because they want you to actually explore and find shit on your own. I understand that.
Just don't have the quest marker at all then, at that point.
Yeah, which is weird, because some sections of this game do remove the quest marker. That's the weird part. It's inconsistent as fuck.
The thing is, the fact that the quest marker is constantly pointing towards Mel is disorienting if, during this mission you're trying to find the other things, because it implies, oh, wait, you're supposed to head to her the whole time, when no, you're only supposed to get to her after a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if a quest marker pointed to the end game goal, even though you're clearly supposed to find something in the opposite direction. That just seems player hostile.
Well, remember one of my favorite moments during our Blue Dragon run is how I wasn't even saying anything, but you guys had the exact same reaction I did with that moment where the game tells us to go back to the village, but then I progressed by moving forward, and all of you were just as baffled as I was when I first played it. I'm not kidding you, Dwebs. There's a point in Blue Dragon where the cutscene literally, I guess our parents probably didn't go by here, so we probably should go back to our village. And even Taya was going, are we seriously going all the way back? But then I progressed by just moving forward, just keeping going, and and it's just
good lord.
Having seen a retrospective of Lost Odyssey, I can tell you, but I do know, I can see where the money and investment went when it came to Mistwalker.
Clearly. Yeah.
I'm guessing Lost Odyssey is just that much better.
Much better.
Jova, trust me, the two aren't even in the same category.
Now, what the hell is going through their minds with Blue Dragon, especially since that's the one that got a full-blown anime attached?
I have no clue.
Anime attached to it, actually.
I have no fucking clue, because remember that game is directed by Hironobu Sakaguchi. Well, okay, technically he's the producer, but he's still the head and wrote the story, right? And remember, he was also just a producer on 6, and 6 was amazing. So,
I'm guessing
same thing with 7.
I'm guessing the anime was more successful since that even got a sequel of all things.
That's sad, considering the anime is also garbage.
On the Nintendo DS, so there is that.
But
wait, it did?
Yes, it did. Remember, Microsoft allowed their developers to make games for Nintendo handhelds. That's why there's a Banjo-Kazooie game on Game Boy Advance.
Do I dare ask if the sequels follow up the story?
Okay,
I haven't actually played them, so I wouldn't be able to tell.
One is a direct sequel, the other I think it's a complete different spin-off, but I think functions kind of similar to Dragon Quest IX.
Yeah, but the thing is...
maybe I will have to look into these.
See, the thing is... No, that's the thing, Jova. Like I said, the reason it's so frustrating about that is because back in the day, Blue Dragon was very hyped up as the big JRPG of the Xbox 360, and in terms of JRPG aspects to it, it was marketed as Sakaguchi's first major game since he left Square. right? Like, and this is not to mention, not just Sakaguchi. Remember, it had, some of the key development members of the Chrono Trigger team were in it, right? They also got Akira Toriyama to draw the characters. They got Nobuo Uematsu to do the music. Like this was a big deal at the time among RPG fans, right? So I mean, this so the fact that it was as bad as it was such a huge disappointment.
So if I understand correctly, Blue Dragon was essentially Sakaguchi's Pocahontas to Lost Odyssey as his Lion King. Ergo, Blue Dragon was.
Well, if you're gonna go by that route,
success.
because the Lost Odyssey came out after, so we might use Hunchback of Notre Dame. That's a bit better, especially because, yeah, much like Hunchback of Notre Dame, Lost Odyssey a considerably darker game compared to.
Well, my point is more so Blue Dragon was seen as, this is obviously going to be the success, whereas Lost Odyssey was not seen as such.
The thing that I can tell you, but I don't think we talked about in our comment drop, is that apparently, at least from what I've heard from people talking about it, is that it did the job it was supposed to do, as in boosted Xbox 360 sales in Japan. Especially because it came in packaging, and it had the advantage that the cover was actually, different from what the usual Xbox 360 game was having at the time.
I see.
But that's you have to take it for what it is.
It boosted, and by boosting, the sales had a spike, and that's basically it. Because again,
so would you say Sakaguchi went out on a high note then in regards to that, or did?
Well, technically Sakaguchi is still going. He recently made Fantasian, and recently there was a Steam database listing for Fantasian, so it seems like the game is now being ported to Steam at least. So we should be able to play it soon enough, thankfully.
You keep up better with him than me. How has he been doing overall quality-wise?
Well, okay, here's the basic gist of it. Blue Dragon sucks. Lost Odyssey is great. The last story is good, but not as good as Lost Odyssey, definitely. As for Fantasian, I haven't played Fantasian yet because of basically what happened was, Jova, because these games weren't exactly selling great. The studio basically got severely reduced to only like a handful of employees.
He did try a couple of mobile games under the name Terranigma, but they really went nowhere. They even had a collaboration with Final Fantasy 15 for an event. It was cute.
So I guess the best way to put it is that he still is above water, but his best days may be behind him.
Alright, so we're done it.
Oh my god, we're finally done.
I know, right? Trust me, this puzzle is boring as shit and takes a long time to get through.
Sakaguchi was in that Mega 64 video poking a bit fun of his own activities.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really? He actually showed up in that.
No, Sakaguchi is actually a really cool guy. So.
I hope so. But the woods
And shoot me a link to that. I might check it out later. But that's it. I'll give it credit. Well, I don't know if I call it credit, but this was, I guess, one of the more interesting things, seeing Gollum have to play detective, even though
it's not a
like
bad
many
idea.
missions
The
it
problem
drags.
is, the problem was it was too long. We're gonna get a different puzzle later on, which I think is
a
bit better.
Now this cutscene is a bit confusing to me. Also, frame rate there.
Let me rest, but we just finished the puzzle. Why do you want to rest now?
And spent. Of course.
Because the game wants to create
And Gollum is planning his next move. Remember, he wants to wait until she sleeps to break her neck.
We have to convince him as Smeagol not to do it, I assume.
Okay, that being said, get this too. We're about to get, believe it or not, an ass shot of Mel here.
Oh, totally. What we need in this game.
To the game's credit, it comes across more as a bug rather than intentional.
Okay.
Hold on, right now?
Not now.
Oh,
No time for
Whoa,
this.
Jesus!
I thought there's going to be a twist and Gollum takes over and
Mel.
breaks her neck or something.
Mel, you're in front of the camera. Can you please maybe,
Please move.
do we really need an ass, like the camera put up Mel's ass, Mr. Director?
Not for us. No, but the elf would have it.
See, the thing is, given how important Mel is to the narrative, I assume regardless of what happens, she won't die.
No. So basically, at least I think so. Maybe there might be some variation in choices towards the end that do it, but I don't think so. Anyway, Smeagol wants to try to convince Mel to leave so that she'll be safe and blah blah blah.
That again. I should have looked at it more often, and so should you.
Nice moon, yes. Blind elf can picture it in her mind.
What about the birds? Tell me about them.
Birds, yes.
Tell me
higher
about
in
the
trees,
rabbits,
watching,
George.
Always watching.
Hey, you've seen a mouse and men.
Blackbirds, just sitting and watching, all silent.
The silent ones I don't trust.
Perhaps we should go now.
Keep going. This used to be such a beautiful place.
Now, we've been trying to get out of this place. I think you would want to prioritize that too.
Yeah, if you remember, a plot point in The Hobbit is that at least the major river is cursed and you should not drink the
Large
water.
stones, gleaming pale in the night.
I wonder if the idea is supposed to be that the haze is potentially lulling Mel, and that's why she suddenly may want to stay?
And Smeagol 131.
Alright.
Okay, that was at least more of a compelling debate.
Place is not how I remembered it.
Okay, game, can you please stop flickering? Okay, like, can you?
Wait,
I'm-
you mentioned flowers.
I'm trying to watch.
Pedro.
I'm trying to watch the cutscenes.
The entire building must be overgrown
It's
with-
trying
They
so
must
hard.
be now.
And got so far.
Well,
It's
clearly.
it's like Enter the Dragonfly. It tries to run smoothly, but it just can't.
Many.
Which again, this game is running on the PS. I'm playing the PS5 version. This game should be perfectly capable of running well, just based on on the console's horsepower alone.
Tiggle's riddle. We remembers. I
It's just
remember.
bad coding, isn't it?
Oh yeah, obviously.
What if Mel doesn't need the riddle master anymore?
Maybe Mel can be. Maybe Smeagol can be Mel's new friend.
Oh my god, I really think he might actually be falling in love with her.
No, that's not what they go for. If it helps you.
Thank God.
But Smeagol is here.
Can you imagine? A romance for flipping Gollum of all people.
Honestly, I cannot even begin to see that going well in universe either, because like Theo said, like Smeagol/Gollum usually strangles people in their sleep. If he fell in love with a woman, he probably would rape her in her sleep. So
Like
I
Tickle
mean,
and look
would he look at a
on his
woman like he
eye.
does his precious?
But-
What the hell?
what?
He's having PTSD when
And
he
turns
plays
out
the
Gollum
Eagle.
was asleep. Was Gollum asleep the whole time?
We did nothing.
No, that was the body of the Eagle. He has PTSD on when he killed his brother.
It's weird because that was
Ozzy
clearly
never
Gollum.
does.
It's weird because that was clearly Gollum's model that they were using for that. So like,
Yeah,
come on, guys.
it's like in True Colors, like where they retain the same models even though they're supposed to be children in those scenes.
Yep.
What's happening now?
Basically,
exactly?
Basically, Mel went on without us because Smeagol was having
And
a stroke.
the haze has descended on us.
Alright, so this is basically, Joe, this is meant to be this game's equivalent of that sequence in Uncharted 3 where they drug Nate. You might remember that, right? Thing is, unlike that one, which is very easy to proceed through, this one, on the other hand, the haze goes off and becomes way too clouded to the point where it becomes genuinely difficult to tell where you are, and you can easily lose your bearings and lose where, lose where you've been and where you are in specifically. And you'll see for a moment. I mean, like, trust me, it's gonna get worse. It doesn't look too.
Let me
Knock it
get-
off.
Knock it off. What? Too?
I was quoting Xenogears because they did
Ah,
the
yeah.
exact same thing there.
Right.
But yeah, no, like, I'm guessing if you choose to try and lull Mel to sleep, she doesn't fall for it, and then Gollum has this whole trip and she disappears during that point.
I don't
I
know.
think that's
Don't
what
care.
happens. Because I can tell you that Mel is supposed to be alive for a later piece.
Yep.
Like, I think that's kind of the issue with some of these debates between Smeagol and Gollum. Like, granted,
Look at
really
this.
seen how it goes with Gollum.
Look
but
at
it really
this.
Feels
I
like
can
in
barely
all
see
cases-
anything in front of my fucking eyes. Like,
I guess they could say that's the point, but
Did Panna Cotta
This is-
activated his stand or something?
look at this.
My precious.
oh my god, no, this is just bad now.
I
Like,
can only imagine what Shearer will be actually seeing in this sequence.
Mel.
you should just look. If you're gonna make it tough to see, then just have us go straight.
Look
I
at
can't remember.
this.
Does this game have accessibility features?
No. Well, okay. I guess technically it does in the sense that you can increase the size of the subtitles, though it doesn't help much. Like, although to be fair, I haven't tried putting the subtitles in maximum size, but even still, it's just not very good. The point. Aside from that, not really. I think that's the only one it has. Well, okay. To be fair, the whole subtitle background thing, that I'm using, right? Aside from, basically just subtitle settings, and even then,
Yeah, I
the
think-
subtitle settings are not particularly great either. So.
I think Dweebs is referring to something that can mitigate a bit these like colorblind.
Oh,
settings.
nothing like that. Like I said,
Yeah.
you get subtitle settings, and that's the extent of it.
Lovely.
And from what Pedro has mentioned, those subtitle settings aren't exactly
Yeah, even when the
ideal.
subs are big enough, Oh,
So,
No, it's
did I just walk in a big circle?
uh-oh.
Finally.
Oh,
We told you he wouldn't get
Great, back to the elves.
too.
Back to the elven. What's the name of the fortress too?
has a few questions for you.
Tranduil's home, let's just call it.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
Franduil's palace. Oh, there you go. Thanks,
Seriously,
thanks, game.
Just come back where we stopped.
Thanks, game. Franduil's halls. The entire. So basically, okay.
There's a detail.
Okay, I get that it's served for the purpose of telling us Mel's backstory, but really, you could have easily told us Mel's backstory without blatantly wasting my time throughout an entire chapter.
I also love when we just pop in like this, so not even a cutscene or something gently. Okay, why couldn't you just start like this? Oh.
Like I said before, and I'll say it again, one of the easiest ways for a piece of media to piss me off is by blatantly wasting my time.
Torturing my conscience.
like I guess it's nice that the elves don't torture Gollum, but really, they're still giving him free roam of the place despite escaping
Yeah.
not once but twice.
Yeah, you'd think the elves would be a bit more pissed off considering Gollum ran away, but I guess not.
They're really lax with it.
Her lanterns.
They're not very cruel, are they?
Yeah, you're supposed to be a quote-unquote cruel elf. Do cruel shit. Live up to your name, goddammit.
Like you said, Pedro, this is clearly not the kind of behavior that mean guy from Final Fantasy VIII will have.
Yeah, well, that's what we need. We need mean guy or disgusting person, as he's known in Italy, to come here and teach these elves how to do things. Like,
Seriously, even the supposed antagonists suck at being antagonists in this game.
I'm honestly curious to see other languages of Final Fantasy VIII to see if maybe there's some other fun names for mean guy.
The friend that is the wiki did told me, but I will have to find the message again, so maybe I'll be able to tell you in the next part.
See you then.
Yeah.
See it.